proud. Claim you're African, black, and I'm proud. I'm telling you, when you claim you're African, you're gonna get your mind back. Black, and I'm proud. Claim you're African, black, and I'm proud. I'm telling you, when you claim you're African, you're gonna get your mind back. Black, and I'm proud. Claim you're African, black, and I'm proud. I'm telling you, become a part of it. Embrace it. 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 When you claim you're African, you're gonna get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim you're African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim you're African, you're gonna get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim you're African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you
Peace and power, family. Dr. Daw in the building. You know, it was a lot getting here, but we're here. You know what I mean? Doc in a box back at you again on this. What is this? The second Monday or the second Wednesday?
Monday.
Second Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Is this the second or the fourth? You know, I'm just coming off a vacation, y'all. So you know,
This is the fourth Wednesday.
Okay, this is the fourth Wednesday. Just getting back in town. Had a beautiful time down in VA with the family, and then I went to an extended trip in VA with the family. But nonetheless, family, I'm here. Queen is here. Queen, speak to him.
What's up, people? I want to first say my first thing is our producer's sick, Brother Ja, and so that's what held us up tonight because we're doing everything. But that's what we do. We're a powerhouse over here. We want to wish him well. That Rona is going around. So that brother, we hope he feels better. Come back soon. We'll see him in 2 weeks. So guys, we got something hot tonight. We're sorry we're late, but we're here. Why do we compare ourselves to white people? Why do we do that, Da?
Why do we compare ourselves to white people? I mean, I'm interested in hearing what you have to say on this topic. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Something That's an inside joke, family. That's
in community. That's all I hear it all the time. White people do it this way, or white people stick together. I think that these are comparisons that we got to look at, and it actually negates our greatness when we compare ourselves to people who are so far ahead of the curve.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a problem. And I hear it so much that I said, listen, we need to talk about why are we doing that? Because we're going to jump in for the next few weeks, identity, Black identity, and how we're identifying as Black people in America. Mm. And if we're going to identify as whatever we are, we got to first be resolute in who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have a problem with that. We compare our children to white children. We compare, we know Black men compare white women to Black women. That's a big thing. So this comparison thing that we're doing as if they are better or they are on a pedestal or they're the standard. And I think it negates how great we are.
So one thing I'm thinking about as you preface, you say this idea that people are so far ahead of us. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I kind of struggle with that language a bit, but I think I understand what you're saying though. People that are so more when I'm hearing you say, what I think I'm hearing you say is people who have an advantage due to their the havoc they cause, which put them in a place that economically, financially, through power, all those different things. Not necessarily that they are further ahead of us as it pertains to other areas, because I would say that they are inferior in many areas, and I think that we have to also acknowledge that.
So you said they're inferior in areas?
Yeah, I think that, there's some that they are inferior in some areas. Now, clearly, they are good at enslaving people. I mean, way more superior and further ahead than any of us. Clearly they're better at dropping bombs on people. Clearly they're ahead of us at exploiting people's labor. Clearly they're ahead of us in doing having politic games like we're talking about right now. So what I'm saying is, so we are way ahead of them in many ways as well. So I just wanted to put that out there.
So they are clearly ahead in a lot of things, but I think when people, unfortunately, we don't have long, our vision is very short. We live on our bandwidths are short. So we live now like they have more, they have better neighborhoods, so they are harder working. They have bigger houses, so they have more money. All of these things they have more of. But I don't think we bring the context into the conversation. There's a reason why they have more. There's a reason why the neighborhoods are a certain way. There's all reasoning behind that. It does not make us less than because. And we have nice neighborhoods too. And most of us live in their neighborhoods. How about that? So I don't understand. Huh?
What does that mean? We live in their neighborhoods.
Well, we like to go in neighborhoods. We leave the hood and go around to other folks. That's what we do.
Well, again, that's where I struggle. I'm with like why I'm really trying to reframe this a bit for me, is that I don't see their neighborhoods as being better. I do see how they robbed and have taken and raped and pillaged and did all types of things and created these neighborhoods that are superficial. They keep very clean neighborhoods, but what are going inside of these households? What do they have to do to get these type of neighborhoods? Are these neighborhoods communal? Are these neighborhoods? I get it. There's probably somewhat, I do get it. They're to a degree, seemingly, they have structure and they have sweet cleaning and they have bushes and hedges and all these type of things because of what they've used, because they exploited other people to have these things.
Yeah, and so why do we continue to let's go into just what I've heard as this presidential thing is going on with Kamala Harris. They're saying that a Black woman cannot be president. She can't do what Joe Biden can do. She can't this. There's no way they're going to let a Black woman win the presidency. I think they said that about Barack Obama. I think that it can happen. I still think Trump is going to win. But
you think Trump is going to win?
I think Trump's going to win. I think they set it up. Huh?
How's my mic?
Your mic is a little low. Turn it up a little.
It's a little low? Okay, cool.
Turn it up a little. I think Trump is going to win.
Okay.
But I think they've set it up for him to win. I think this has been, they thought they would beat Biden down. And they pulled a card out on him called a Black woman. I think that they didn't expect that. So all this money she's raising, I hear feedback.
You hear feedback?
Yeah, all this money that she's raising, but other than that, I think that we have to retool our minds and not look at what someone else is doing. We got to look at what we have and who we are. Because our language, our movements, everyone emulates. And if we continue to say, well, the white folks are doing it like this, then where are we going? My sister said, y'all have already given up. She said, no way he will win. Put boots on the ground. I hear you. But I think that voting is a tool, and I'm not sure if we have the voting power we think we do. You can't make the machine and then tell me I control the voting power, and someone makes the machine. If you're not giving me a receipt, I don't believe it. You get a receipt for groceries, you get a receipt for candy bars, you get a receipt for everything but voting. Why is that?
You get a receipt for everything besides voting?
Everything. If you order peanuts, you get a receipt. Why can't you get a receipt saying you are 28899 voter for this person? From a machine. Why is voting so anonymous? You get a sticker. Barack Obama's 2 terms, yeah, because that's what they wanted. He was, like someone said, he wasn't elected, he was selected. Let me start. This is not a politics show.
It is a politics show.
It is a politics show?
Everything's political. I don't think this show is specifically Doc in the Box is all political. Everything is political. I'm not sure I listened to the playback and I sound okay. I'm not sure if I'm low on your end.
You sound better. You're
I'm
pretty
hoping I
low on
don't
my
hear
end,
the.
but you
I'm
sound
hoping I don't
better.
hear the. I'm hoping you don't hear the echo anymore though.
Can y'all hear? Put in the chat. Can y'all hear Dr. Da? Can y'all hear
Yeah,
him clearly?
yeah. I heard myself clearly on the phone,
Put
but
a Y if you can, an N if you not, if you can.
yeah.
So who we got in the chat here? Let's see. We got my sister, Hotel California. She back, Da. She said she was coming back for you. She's back.
Oh, she back for me.
Yeah. Greetings. Parish Edmonds is in the chat.
What up, Pete? What up, Diggy? What it is? What's up? What you D? Diggy? All right.
Yeah,
So,
Parish that he can hear. Okay.
okay.
So I also want you guys to contribute. Since we don't have our producer tonight, we need a lot of contributions from the Black Boxes. So in your everyday, whatever you guys do, can you tell me, do you hear comparisons to Black people to white people all the time? Or am I being delusional? Let's say that.
What's
She
the
said, oh,
question?
she's coming for you, brother.
And she coming for me. She means she's coming to listen to the show because I'm here. I got it.
Oh.
I take it as a privilege. I mean, I take it as an honor. The
Oh, you
big
think that's
Hotel
it?
California is in the building because Dr. Daw is chair.
Oh.
CHAIR. So look, y'all want to join in the studio, we can put the link in as well. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So if you
You
want to
can
do
come
that,
on
we can do that.
stage.
But
That's
hey,
right.
Queen, so what's the question? What do you want to talk about? Where do you want to go with this?
I want to dispel this thing. You know, my mother is born in another time. So
Mm-hmm.
she always speaks, and she lives in the South. She
Mm-hmm.
always speaks like our Black people. And when she talks about white people, it's like some type of emulation, some love for them. And I don't think she means it. I think it's the time that she grew up in. You know, she said, well, them white people, they work hard, not like us. We just want to get high and shoot up each other. And I don't think that's not true. These comparisons to me are a problem.
They say we want to. So what are you saying? You're saying that your mom is saying that all Black people want to do is get high.
Yep. All the boys want to do is stand on the corner. None of them want to work. And I hear young people saying that, not just my mother.
And she's comparing them against someone. Is that what you're saying?
She's saying white people work hard. That's why they have nice stuff. That's why they have beautiful neighborhoods.
But I think the problem is this. I mean, I think your mother sees that. And I think that even in that comparison is not accurate. It's one thing if the comparison was accurate. Like if they weren't shooting up just as much, if not more than we are, I would say, yeah, Mom. But Mom only sees exactly from her vantage point. She doesn't really live in the neighborhoods, in the areas, in the communities where this is my assumption, that where they do all these things at, right?
Right.
She might live around some of them, but they might be a different group of them. In fact, they might take some other drugs, but they're not potentially maybe shooting up. But I mean, heroin and opioids and opiates are really ravishing white communities. And this new thing called, what is it called? Crankle, something like that in Philadelphia. I mean, when you see these videos, you see them. In fact, the research and the data supports that they take these harder drugs at higher rates, especially at younger ages. So what I'm saying is, and then it kind of equals out at some point. But what I'm saying is, it's not that Black people are taking drugs more. Black people, again, as we know, Black people have been criminalized more because of drugs and things of that nature. But in this country, look, drugs don't discriminate.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But I say that to her, and then she's on something. She said Black women don't take care of their bodies. The white girls they work out all the time. I said, Mom, that's not true.
Well, I think there's something to
these comparisons that she says it in front of children, and I just think that this gets in our mind that we're less than because we talk so arbitrarily, as if they are definitely better. They're doing something more than us.
I think Mom means good, right?
Right.
Let me just say that. I think she wants to see us in a better place.
Dr. Kyle, my brother.
Oh, okay. Dr. Kyle Berkeley, he says, I definitely agree with Dr. Daw. You starting off right, Dr. Berkeley. When I started messing with you. When I started working in Anne Arundel County at Crisis Response, I was shocked at the high rate of crime and substance abuse out there compared to the city. It's weird that doesn't get talked about in the news like Baltimore City crimes does. Absolutely, and that's a fact. Mm-hmm. So I think that the idea, that even the news, and I think Dr. Berkeley brings up a great point, and when he is, I'm assuming Dr. Berkeley is a male. Kyle Berkeley,
he's a male. Dr. Kyle.
Okay,
yeah, he's a male.
So I think he brings up a great point when he brings in the idea of the news, because the news and the media projects images that really press and imprint in our minds, and that is also what Mom is speaking to. You know what I mean? So yeah. So it's set up in a way so that's for us to believe this. In fact, to be honest with you, as we look at this election, as we look at what's going on with Trump, and we're looking at even this guy the guy who wrote Hillbilly Allegedly, whatever. I have the book, very interesting book. And when you think about how these people go to those communities of white people who are really doing hard, that no one talks about, but besides this opioid crisis. But middle America, we do not know the plight of these people, and in fact, is weaponized in a sense, and that's why they're voting for people like Trump and his running mate, because they feel like they can help them. They feel like they're overlooked and all this and all of that. In some sense, they're intentionally overlooked. It helps keep the white image clean, but it also keeps them. It also keeps them upset at us. It also keeps them thinking, they think that we're taking all their jobs. They think we're DEI hires, because they're doing really bad. White America, as a majority, is not doing good either, especially middle America. They're not doing great. No, they're not doing great. As I shared with you, I teach at a school in Western Pennsylvania, which is southwestern Pennsylvania, a little bit north of West Virginia, a little bit south of Pittsburgh, and they are not doing good. I just left Virginia Beach area, so that trailer parks and different in places up in the hills and places in Western Virginia and places in southwestern PA, the rural areas. These people are really upset at not just Democrats but Black people, whether or not they want to admit it, because no one really specifically speaks to their plight.
But how could you be upset and you have all the opportunity? I can't understand it.
That's very difficult to understand, because they don't have the opportunity. They just don't have. They just have a bit more. They have skin color. They have skin color.
That's the ticket.
No, the skin color is a ticket. Is a trick. There's not enough room at the top. The game is that there's enough room at the top. So even you believe that there's enough room just because you're white, you get to get up into this thing. These people have been poor for generations. They didn't just start being poor. They came here as migrants, and they were the lower class of the white people. They were the ones who were let's say the descendants of the indentured. They're the descendants of the overseers.
Mm-hmm.
So it looked like it's a little busy here. You got something to say?
Yeah, I see this, and we had to put this up. I mean, rest in peace, Sonya Massey. No justice, no peace. The black woman who just got shot in the face by this cop, and how it's when is this going to stop? This is a problem. Did you see the video?
I was driving home, and I was going to send you another email and text message and say, no, this is what we need to speak on.
Well, yeah. Hotel California, our second host, our co-host, she brought it up. This is the worst. This one all of these stories of killing Black folks is a problem, but this one, this is going to, from my vantage point, this is going to be major, and it's sad that it's very sad that it happened. The only thing I'm thinking, I'm assuming, and I'm also hoping that this has the community up at arms as much as they did about George Floyd.
because it's so clear.
Egregious, so
egregious. Just egregious, aggressive, violent, ignorant, clearly, whether or not people want to make this a race issue or not, but he saw her less than a human being.
He did.
You know what I mean? And that's why he can tell a woman, what kind of brownie points do you get for telling a woman you're going to shoot her in the head?
In the fucking face.
Like because you don't see her as a woman. I'm going to shoot
you
you
in your head. Effing face, bro.
And he was saying effing for what reason? Why are you cussing at this lady? Why? And I didn't even get to see it specifically. I heard it as I was driving, and I don't even know if I want to see it, but the reality is that right there, I'm telling you this right now, and I've concluded. I don't see. This is going to sound kind of horrible. I don't know what it's going to take. I don't think there's no repairing. There's going to have to be some the trauma that this country is under as a result of racism, although people don't want to talk about it and people act like it doesn't exist. I don't know if there's any times soon or at all if we can repair the relationships between those who represent the oppressive class and those of us who've been oppressed. And I'm talking about specifically the Black and white community. I am saying
there's no repair.
Because the trauma, when I think about it, how difficult it is for when you bring a couple in your office and the person cheated on the other partner, how difficult that repair is. And that could be one person you cheated on them with. But we're talking about generations and centuries of oppression and enslavement and Jim Crow and black codes and police brutality and all these different things. I do not see because they don't want to do the work. They do not want to do the work, and it's almost impossible for them to do it. I am not saying that you won't get a few good white people, quote unquote. I mean, and I'm not going to say good white people. I'm saying some of them even believe they're good and some of them do mean well, but they just cannot fathom the harm that their community has done and the harm that they continue to put on us, even if it's unintentional, because they don't want to see it or they don't want to feel it. And I do not see it happening no time soon because it's
getting
traumatized.
Worse.
Because they get traumatized in the process.
Wow. And he's talking about the cop, Brother P. And he'd been a problem, and he's been a problem and got kicked out of the military, I believe 6 different police departments. And the slave patrols have to be revamped. But I think the problem is we continue to try to make evil good. And there's no such thing. You have to start over. Our policing has to start over, our constitution. We got to start everything over. So people say, well, America shouldn't fall. I think it should.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to rebuild it because what we got going now is a problem. You cannot fix it, especially if the people, like you said, don't want to be fixed. They're comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And even if they're not comfortable, the fact is they're comfortable enough not to want to be uncomfortable in doing the work. Most people do not want to go through the therapeutic process to heal. I'm saying on any level. And racism is so far down. And one of the things I definitely don't want to address. I've worked with too many white students to realize, even as well-intentioned as they are many times, it's a difficult thing to rid yourself of. I am saying, just imagine how difficult it is to kick a drug habit. And I am saying that their entitlement, their privilege, their racial oppression, aggression, transgressions, it is all inside of them just as much as a drug habit is in someone who's trying to kick any habit. And I am not talking about a coffee habit, but we know how difficult it is to kick that. And I'm not talking about a sugar habit, but we know how difficult it is to kick that. I am talking about something so entrenched in them that it is so, it's kind of like you don't even have the wherewithal to figure out where to go in the first place. You do not have it's too much. It's like living, now I have to go into the world now without a map. And the map that is laid down, the way that this system has been created, the way that they live their world, it is too uncomfortable to give up their addiction to oppression, their addiction to racism, their addiction to all the privilege they get as a result of it. and it's just too hard to face that I'm a junkie.
Ouch. Well, proper perspective said exactly right there. There's no
What's
repair.
Up, cuz? What's up? That's my big cousin.
That's your cousin. He said the Mayo Mafia don't have it in them to repair.
We was just down in
He calls him the Mayo Mafia. I never heard that. That's what's up. But all right, A Golf Tritter, who's this? How are you? Kamala has black voters leaving Trump and RFK Jr. en masse, and they are registering to vote in massive numbers as first-time voters. The K-Hive is buzzing, and we have Honey and the Sting. You know what I see? We are galvanized by this politics. We don't galvanize around like this, around the excitement I'm hearing and this thing about Kamala and Joe Biden. We are in with all of our toes. They said they had a black women on a Zoom, 100,000 black women. They raised $1 million in 2 hours. We can't send kids to school. We can't fund computer programs. We don't have 21st century skills. But as soon as there's something about these systems that the same people oppress you have put something that you could be a part of, we go crazy to be a part of it. Now everyone wants to vote. Everybody wants to give money to the Democratic Party, who has done nothing for black people.
But the reality is this.
What are we doing?
The reality is they feel like it's going to protect them. So we have to get into the psyche. And I'm saying, so we're operating from the standpoint of survival, not necessarily to thrive, right? We are operating from the perspective, like, so we feel like the reason why we galvanize so easily on this from this framework, this point, or this perspective, or this point of view, is that we feel like if Trump gets in that White House, one, that is over. Two, we also at the same time are joyous because there's a sister that looks like us or something like us that has the potential to get there. And so we feel like there's a fresher breath of fresh air. And I'm not suggesting that Kamala is it, but I'm saying I do understand why people are doing what they're doing, even if it's out of a place of ignorance.
Well, when I look at how we voted for, and black women put Biden in the White House, black people put Biden in the White House. Give me a policy that has furthered the black condition in this country. And don't tell me something for everybody.
I think it has further. I think all of this stuff furthers the black condition. Maybe improve the black condition.
I mean, bettering our condition. Yeah, because I don't understand what we're doing. We're so galvanized. Agoff Twitter, he's on. He says reform of racially motivated police brutality equals backing the blue. I'm not sure about that. I don't think that a lot of African Americans are looking to back the blue. I'm not sure.
I'm sorry. Reform racially motivated. Okay, what is it?
I don't understand that.
Motivated police brutality.
I don't understand the statement.
Let me read it.
Hey, Golf, you got to tell me more about that one.
Racially motivated police brutality.
I don't understand it.
Reform of racially motivated. Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Reform of racially motivated police brutality, backing the blue. Equals black.
He said equals backing the blue. He has to expound. I'm not really sure what that means. Agoff, hit us again with that one. But he got more. He's on it. Parrish Edmonds, Brother P said, me too, and it might take a war because these people would rather let this country go to hell before they want to make anything right. I believe that. I think that, they really have this sense of ownership of the U.S. This is their country, this is their stuff, and that everyone else have to get in where they fit in. And that's actually a problem when you're not the original and you actually invaded the country. It's a problem.
Can I say this?
What?
I was looking at a video earlier today, and I don't mean by any means every politician, but I do mean many of them. I know some beautiful politicians, especially at the local level. I know Senator Corey McCray. I know the brother, quite a few people, right? That's doing some good work. I can't think of my dear brother name, the delegate here in Maryland. It's slipping me right now. But what I do want to say is, I was driving home today, and I peeked down at my phone, and I saw Trump's the presidential candidate, his vice presidential candidate,
Vance, JD Vance.
Yeah. And I read his book, right? And he was rallying the troops in Middle America. And I'm looking at him with his suit on. And and I'm looking at the people behind them, and they got fatigues on, and they got their signs up, and they got all this type of thing. And I'm looking at how they truly believe in these people. I'm looking like these people are duking those people, those same white people in Middle America being duped by the Republican, the right-wing party. But I cannot say that I was saying if we could look at how that looks, all of us can really get a picture of how that looks. And we look at them like, why are you voting against your own policy or your own interests? I think if we can only flip that, and look and say, look, the only difference is that we continuously vote for the left politicians, those who are considered Democratic, the Democratic Party specifically, and they have their fancy suits on, and we're behind them rallying. I'm saying it's like I believe that we're looking at them like they're ignorant, and I believe that they're looking at us like you are ignorant. And I think that to some degree we're all right, because a lot of us, even this idea that I can't remember the statistic, but I heard it earlier today. I heard a statistic today said that white women in all the history or more recent or what, it's like many thousands of, the number of years in America, they have voted Republican in every race besides two of them. So to say that black people exclusively vote Democrat without saying that they exclusively vote Republican is also not looking at it equally. We talking about comparing, because we do a great job of comparing things, but we really don't do a great job and see, look how ignorant they are as well. Let's not be as ignorant as they are. If you see how ignorant they are for their politicians, let's not repeat that.
But I think it's a farce. You get what I'm saying? They're being ignorant, but I think it's a farce. It's like, if we're in a country that is Democrat, why do we only have choices that they put forth? What, you look, what's his name is still running?
Cornel West?
Yeah, Cornel West. He's still running. You don't hear anything about Cornel West.
Because he's
all you hear about is the RFK guy, and he's independent.
Well,
but you pick who we can see, and then those are the choices. I think that's a problem.
Well, you hear about Cornel West from our Democratic brothers and sisters, and what they say is that.
But you hear more about Kennedy.
What they're saying, though, Kennedy and Cornel West, especially Cornel West, they're saying that our Democratic brothers and sisters are saying that Cornel West is in the way. That he's there some of them are saying that he's there to take the votes away so that Trump can win. So they think that he's in some way an ally to Trump. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of ways of looking at this thing. And
I think they're voting in color. Like you vote, white people vote for certain people, and black people are voting for whomever, because we don't have color choices. We have to choose between what's there. We just in the last 20 years have seen black candidates that have even the ability to make it to that stage. Barack Obama made it, but I think people vote because their father was a Republican. Their mother was a Republican. It's traditional too. It's almost like going to church. You go to the church you grew up in. You become a Baptist, you're Republican, even though black people were Republicans.
Let's also be clear that people, quote unquote, and this is often left out, even in our own communities, people vote their class interests, quote unquote. Literally, I've spoken to so many brothers and sisters who've made it to some degree where they feel like they've made it out of they're upper middle class or what have you, professionals. And I'm not saying all, because that would be a lie, right? But I'm saying that some of them or many of them feel as if, and certain business owners even feel like they're in a class that they have to protect their interests. So they feel like Republicans look out for business people or people who are in a certain income bracket and
because
all
Trump
this
is a
type
real
of thing.
estate guy. He's a businessman.
Right. So
Yeah.
and some people say so when Republicans get in, weed goes up. When Democrats get in, cocaine goes up. So that's telling you, so that's just telling you the drugs of choice for the that people are alluding to. And going back to what we spoke about earlier is us comparing ourselves against them. But we know when we say white girl, we know who we're talking about who's snorting that cocaine.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Oh man, that's crazy. Proper Perspective said the Democrats rely on the idea that their policies help. The Republicans continue to show that they don't care to help, so it's benign neglect. Democrats versus harmful intent Republican. It's like this country loves competition and creating this competition that's really not true. Because trust me, these same people eat out the same plate.
I like how he said that though. I like
how he said it.
No,
I think there's no difference.
That's powerful though. Like I think he's saying the same thing though. It's kind of like right. So when you look at it, I think he brilliantly put this. See that Winkler blood. I'm trying to tell you. You see what I'm saying? So
here we go.
He says so. It's benign neglect for Democrats versus harmful intent. So as we look at trauma, right?
They're doing the same thing.
They're doing the same thing through. It's just like, for example, a child is traumatized whether the mother neglects them or beats them. At the end of the day,
it's still trauma.
The child is traumatized, and now we're looking at them as grown people trying to figure out why he or she can't be in a relationship. And lots of time, it has nothing to do with the harmful intent. It has a lot to do with the child feeling neglected. So at the end of the day, the trauma is there through the neglect or the harmful intent.
Okay. And he one-upped you. The Winkler blood 100. It's a little family thing going on over here.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we got a lot of hits in the comments. Y'all keep hitting us because we're gonna keep this conversation going. This politics thing. Once Biden dropped out, it seems like everybody's excited. It's all over. It's everywhere. And Kamala, she's raised a lot of money, but does she have the propensity to win? And if she does win, is she going to change anything? That's what I want to know. What do we expect her to do that Biden isn't doing?
What do you think?
Nothing.
Do you suggest? So I mean, I think this is a hard decision, right? You like. And I can think about my brother JT Fax has probably watched this video because many years ago we had this same conversation around. So who do you vote for? Some people look at it as if you might as well put Trump in there because at least you know what you're getting, and he's going to be outright a racist.
He's going to be a buffoon. He's going to be trifling. We know what we get with him. Yeah.
So some people would argue that would wake us up and mobilize us. Rather than you have a person like what they call Sleepy Joe Biden, who rocks not only himself to sleep, but he rocks us to sleep. And so we all feel safe, and he can say all types of things, and it doesn't seem so bad. Look, I mean, just the fact that Joe Biden can say, the time I heard him say that,
you're not black, said, you don't vote for him.
But even more so what he said, when he talked to the Black Caucus and said, what do you want from me? I've done more for your people than anybody. This was like soon as he got in, everybody kept saying, give him a chance, give him a chance, give him a chance.
Wow. Patrick's time said Obama thinks that Kamala can't win.
Obama thinks that Kamala can't win.
Yeah, we always got to go back to Obama. Everybody loves Obama, I swear.
Well, I mean, I think that
he's another one. What did he do?
I think that everybody can make their, I mean, you know what? I think a lot of people say she can't win, right? I'm going to tell you, I don't know if she can win. I do think there's a lot of energy behind her.
Me too.
Right now. And I'm not sure. I mean, I just don't know. I don't think it's going to be as easy as we think. I think when Obama first came on the scene, we all said he could not win. But
everybody.
you know,
everybody everybody thought he wouldn't even get out of the Democratic. He wouldn't even get the Democratic nomination.
we was
Never
like, why is he
mind.
even running?
Yes,
Why would I even waste my vote on him? They said, you know.
exactly.
So I'm not sure. I think we're at a very interesting place, place and time, at the moment. I can't be for sure, but I do understand both perspectives.
But I
Just to be
totally
honest.
think too, though, that they are. It's not about being elected. It's about being selected. Obama was selected. Like JD Vance is selected. He hasn't done anything in politics. How can you go from one term to vice president? These people are being selected, and we're now understanding what really money moves things. And I think that we think our vote is the actual end all, but voting doesn't put Obama in.
I'm not
The
sure if
system
I.
puts it in. You know,
I'm
the
not sure if
system of, huh?
I'm not sure if I totally agree with that, but I do get what you're saying. I think that I'm not saying you're wrong. You could be right, but I do think that the system, from the way I would frame that, is I think that the system does put you in, but the system itself does influence people. The system has the influence on our minds, advertising, marketing, the media, and all these type of things work to deposit things in our minds so they can
Exactly.
control our behinds, and then our behind we just push certain buttons. So but I mean, it could be what you say, but I feel like that system influences the people, you know.
Well, I think it's all systemized, but I think totally that the vote it's a tool, but I think it's a control tool. Well, I, I don't know. I can't. You know, people say don't be a conspiracy theorist, but I just certain people who don't tell the truth about themselves. It's very hard for me to trust their systems. They're
Yeah, but
machine.
the
They're
problem with
machines. Their ways of doing things because they don't tell the truth in anything that they're doing. They don't tell the truth in their history. They cannot digest their history. How can they tell me the truth about what's going on right now if they can't talk about the truth about the past? So it's a problem for me to go forward to believe any system that they put forth. You get what I'm
well,
saying?
yeah, I understand that. I'm not sure if is this the system is see the system is already unfair. The system is unfair because, as you started off the show stating that they have a unfair lead due to the criminal acts they've done for centuries, and hence, if you have the power and the influence over the minds, then you can control the masses and have them believe that they actually made the decisions when you help them make the decisions.
Yeah.
You've led them to make certain decisions. They
Yep.
understand political, social, political science, so they know with certain conditions, they know on this. And I feel honestly, when I think about it, I think that Kamala, they had to put Kamala in this position because once Trump got shot at or whatever, if that was even real, what have you.
Let's not go there.
I don't want you to go there. No, not at all.
Yeah, because
So once
this,
he got shot
he got a
at,
paper towel on his ear.
okay. So once he got shot at, you know,
Yeah.
that made him this candidate that was like everybody said, oh, he's gonna win. He's invincible. He put his white fists up in the air. You know, he did.
Yep.
I'm invincible. So it rallied the troops. So they needed something on the other side. This is just some of my thoughts to really bring back and springboard some more momentum on the other
This
side.
fervor that we see.
So at the last minute, you have Kamala coming out here, and it ignited the people to such a degree that bullet to the ear or what have you is not even being talked about anymore, hardly. If there had not been a Kamala, we'll be still talking about the bullet.
That's true. But it tells how fickle we are, how we change. They can change the talk in a minute. They can move forward and we just jump on something else. So Clifton 212 said Trump's racist ideology is an accurate representation of the average white person. The only difference is Trump is not afraid to say it. Wow.
What's up, bro, Cliff? What it is, man?
Wow. That's
well. I think that. Excuse me. I think that there's various levels to this, though. I think there's people who believe, like, like Trump. There's people who believe even more overtly and more aggressively than Trump. I think people that talk the stuff Trump talks really believe that they're not racist. They think that there's no oppression. There's people out here like that. Then there's people out here that think you're supposed to be their nigga. Excuse my language. They think you're supposed to be their door opener. They think that you're supposed to be all these type of things. So I think there's a variety of white people. And to be honest with you, those who don't understand how racism lives in their body are the most dangerous, because they'll be the same people trying to help you, but at the same time, the same people getting in your way, and the same people who are oppressing you, even if it's not intentional.
So it's a duality going on.
It's a plethora of ways that racism shows up in white bodies. And in fact, it shows up in black bodies as well. It's just called internalized racism. It shows up in all people that have been exposed to this Western racist caste system, or race system, or caste system. You know, so yeah.
It looks like we got a war going on in the chat. Agolf, Twitter, and Patrick's Time, they're going at it, but Dr. Dar.
What they saying?
They're talking about the primary and Biden. They're saying each other trolls. They're talking about a virtual convention. They're going at it. Yeah, we can give you guys the link. Y'all can come on top. They're definitely.
You know, but you're gonna have to vet them. They're gonna have to come with their camera on, because I don't know if I trust all these folks. You know, I don't know who's real and who's not. I don't know who's a troll and who isn't. I mean, Agolf got a Trump emoji.
Yeah, he got a Trump look what he put. It was friendly fire at Air Ajima with the dance of Donnie Ballerina. Was it stage? Was it rage? Was it Hiroshima? Or was it just civil war we waged? Yeah, he rhymed. He's spitting too. What's going on, Agolf? Agolf laying bars.
I don't know about.
I don't know what's going on.
I know about Agolf. Agolf, are you real? But you are dropping some lines, though. You know.
Yeah, he's spitting over here. So I like this one right here. Brother Field said, racism is the greatest religion in modern history. Wow.
I mean, I can't. Wow. I can't even argue with that. But for the sake of my religious brothers and sisters, I will reframe it to say the most fundamentalist religion. You know, because there's people on the spectrum in religion. Some are more flexible and some are more fundamentalist. And the fundamentalists are the ones that we find and we have that causes all type of havoc in the world. Because it must be this way. You must be this color. You must speak this way. You must look this way. You must believe this way. You must date this way. You must do it this way. And if you don't do it this way, you're in the way.
Agolf said he's real. Patrick said he's real. So these are real folks. They have a war, but they're real. Elon Avatar, he said Kamala is a socialist. Why we don't like socialism? What I don't understand about this big problem with socialism. What's wrong with socialism, Elon Avatar? Because do you like capitalism? Tell me what you like. You know what I'm saying, Doc? If you like capitalism, then stay here.
It's a trigger word. It's a trigger word, as if our form of capitalism is working. And as Dr. Dennis spoke about, she said that the American government is not purely a capitalistic government. It also has socialistic or let's say programs. So at the end of the day, whatever the system is not working.
It's not working. And I don't know why we call socialism so bad, because this capitalism is ripping us apart. That's the truth. Look at this. Brother Jamin said at Agolf, I figured I'd find you here. You are a division and a perversion in this country. Wow, they're going at each other.
Hold on.
What?
Okay, so y'all know each other.
They know each other.
Hey, they might be derailing the conversation though.
Yeah, they are.
They might be experts.
They're talking about what they're talking about. It's politics. This is what politics does. It makes people divisive. They go after each other.
They might be the same. They might be the same people though.
It might be. Liberty is not
they
division.
might know how to they might know how to hijack a show.
I'm an anti-dictator every day.
I'm an anti-dictator every day.
What does that mean?
I guess he's saying that socialist regimes are dictatorships.
So Trump is not a socialist.
I mean, when I listen to the Piers Morgan show, I think that's this guy's name. He always has this argument about people who call Trump a Hitler, and he's like, why would you call him a Hitler? I mean, and he hasn't done anything Hitler has done. So I would say, okay, he may has not done everything that Hitler has done, but he damn sure has the personality type to be a Hitler. You know, so what do we wait till he does the things? You know, like, what do we wait till he does it? Then we call him Hitler? Like, the guy has the personality type of a Machiavellian. You know, if that's not clear, you know, I don't understand. You know, as far as the liberals, as my cousin said earlier, they talk a good game. They just don't they neglect things though. They block things out. They want to stay in their friendly neighborhoods, and you know, I think the true test is when you work with most of these white people who say that they're here to help black people. You ask them, would you like my family to, in these other families to live in the same neighborhood with you? Would you like us to come in your school 50-50? Would you like us to, well, you know, would you like us to, like, would you want to live with us? Would you want to, I mean, even if I made money and I made the same amount of money you made, would you like me to come into your community? And, you know, we just sing Kumbaya together and all these type of things. I send my children to school with your children. You send your children. No, you don't want it. You don't want it. So I think that we probably should really ask the real questions. And the real answers probably won't come out, but they damn sure don't want, because they know how to move. They know how to use code words. They know how to say the ghetto, the urban communities, the inner city, which all means black community or black people. You know, now I'm hearing DEI is, you know, DEI is the new term, and everybody's a DEI hire and all these type of things. So, you know, they got all types of code words. And they have all types of beliefs, and if they don't believe it, let's say consciously, white people on a subconscious level believe that they are better than us, whether or not they want to admit it or not. They believe. So
you're saying subconsciously, white people believe that they're better than black people, than everyone in all actuality.
Absolutely. Subconsciously,
we want to make it black and white. It's everyone.
Even if they don't believe it, they will have to dig deep to realize, because they block. A lot of them use all types of defense mechanisms to block themselves off from their superiority complex. They have a superiority complex, and they believe that they're better. They believe that you know, it's so embedded in them, you know, that they sometimes don't know.
But they really don't know that they feel like that. Wow.
And I'm not saying, and don't get it twisted, there's those who clearly believe that and know that, don't know that is incorrect, but clearly believe that they are superior.
Wow. Well, Damien left us. He said he disagrees, guys, but I respectfully leave. I'm MAGA. I don't know what GL in the election. I don't know what that means.
What happened? Who's a MAGA?
Mr. Damien. He said he'll respectfully leave because he's a MAGA. So I guess we're talking about Trump. I mean, I think we should have a conversation. We're talking about Kamala neither. I'm not a lover of Kamala. I'm not a lover of Biden at all. This is a very neutral conversation. We're not saying we're Democrats. We're not saying we're Republicans. We're calling out.
If we switch our thoughts and views, then he'll stay.
Thank you.
Let's switch our views. Let's do it right now. So what should we say? We should say, oh, you know what? I don't believe that, Damien. In fact, you know, all white people don't have they're not racist. They don't think that they don't think they're superior. They don't. You know, they don't. They haven't robbed and pillaged and raped and harmed all of society and all across this globe. They have not. They didn't just shoot this young sister in the head and somewhere in this man's mind, he believed that he was superior. Even white people believe they're more superior than other groups of white people, because all groups of white people weren't considered white people at one time. In fact, Mexicans were considered white people at one time, and sometimes they're considered white people now. So what I'm saying is there's all types of BS built around this idea of racism, and I don't care what nobody say. Racism is a core issue in this country and now this world. Yes. And if you don't deal with it, you're not dealing with the core and real issues. I am not saying that there's no other issues such as class and this. And I'm not also saying that there's not black people out here who pray and get paid off of racism either, because there's sub-oppressors out here. And I'm saying many of them in the leadership class are equally as, I'm not even going to say equally, I'm going to say they are oppressive. They are very oppressive. And the people we're talking about this federal level, I don't see too many of them at the federal level that I can say are really for the people.
Your dad said, that is exactly what I asked the white guy at work. He said he wasn't racist at all. When I asked him, could I date his sister? He said, no, so fast. It was hilarious. They don't want you to touch their women, bro. No. So I think that, we are we provide a service to America and white people, or just the system of America. The creativity. I'm looking now at the Olympics. Our abilities in athletics. Even when you now look at ability to be educated, with the only class of people who could not read for 200 years and now outread everybody. So I think we provide this service in this country, and we don't even know that we are providing the service, because the language, the coolness is coming from the Black community. It's the truth. And
let me say this though, Queen.
Go ahead.
I'm going to just. We weren't the only people that could not read. Most of the society could not read. But I just want to clear that up.
Kept from reading. You were killed.
Yeah. We definitely were kept from reading. Yes.
Yeah, we weren't the only ones who were uneducated.
Keep moving. I just wanted to put that in.
Yeah, there. You're right.
Because even right now, the major part of the world, a lot of people can't read.
That's true. So Agoff says America is a mixed economy, a checks and balances balance between capitalism and socialism. I don't know what you call this, but it's not working. I think we always want to put something in a box and define what it is, but it's not working. And that's the only thing that's the biggest issue. It's not working, and we can't make it something else. We got to clean it up.
In the socialistic hints of what you're calling is nothing. They're enough just to say we did something. They're actually there to be weaponized to really further the capitalistic agenda, to exploit people. You understand? Right. So so just to say it's a mixture, I mean, it doesn't mean anything from my standpoint. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about that. I'm not an economist, but I just don't, I mean, it's called false generosity. You give people enough to keep them oppressed. You give people, and then you tell people, and then you control them with what you give them. And that's one thing that Dr. Amos Wilson spoke about. He spoke about, see, it's not always what they're going to take away from you that controls you. And lots of times it's about what they give you. See, people often talk about how, there's going to be martial law and they're going to take this from you and take that from you. But in fact, they're doing a really good job of giving you things and controlling you.
That's true.
So a lot of us are controlled by the very jobs that we feel. Yes.
Yeah, the food stamps and all of these,
even the jobs, absolutely,
the jobs, the benefits on your jobs,
the water in your house.
Yeah,
that's
the bathroom.
I love this water. I'm an American. You go to other countries like, oh no, I'm going back home. I love America better now. Like
the conveniences.
The conveniences. Right. So there's a lot of control of what you receive.
Sister E said at this point she doesn't want to fight. She tired.
So Sister E is Hotel California.
Yeah, Hotel California. She said she doesn't want to fight. She's sick of these folks.
I got you, Sister Hotel. I mean, Sister E. I understand, And the problem with that is that they will even weaponize that violence. You want to fight because the violence that's being waged upon you.
Yes.
But people, what they'll do is act as if there's no violence being waged upon you.
Yeah.
There's violence being waged upon our minds every day. Anytime you can have a person in the White House that literally has been found guilty for so many different things, or even taken up on so many things, and somehow this person has a chance, it shows you the level of fear, ignorance, and manipulation that takes place in this country. Anytime
but I read
a
up
person
on that, Doc.
huh?
I read up on that. It's no way stipulated in any federal policy that if you are a felon that you cannot run for office. So that means Boo Boo and Nene, they all can run.
I was watching your video the other day. I told you, see, you thought I wasn't being real. You was dropping it. You should put it back up. But nonetheless,
yeah,
there's
no way that it says that. So that's the issue, that he's doing something that is legal, unfortunately.
And I think you shed real good light on that when you said that basically those at the top can be criminals. You know, so where the power is, there's less standard. So are we going to kick this back in? Why do black people compare themselves to white people? Just listen to what we said all this time. I'm not sure why we compare ourselves against them, because by far they have out criminalized us. Ooh. They have out oppressed people. They have done so many things in so many ways that is criminal that there's no comparison. Not at all.
Because we don't look at it that way. We're looking at their stuff. We're looking at their neighborhoods. We're looking at their cars, their ability to get loans, their ability to navigate this society. We have to understand that this society is for them.
If I stole
navigation, it will be easier when someone built it for you.
So if I put a gun to your head and said, "Build this house for me," which literally is not far off of what happened. Really, it's probably less severe than what happened. And they said, build these houses. Give me all your money. Give me all your resources. And then you go out there, you live out there somewhere, and I'm not giving you any resources. Or matter of fact, I'll give you some resources. I'll give you a few bricks, a couple, maybe some lettuce, a little bit of food, what have you. You go out there. Thank you for building this. Don't try to come back over here and get it, because I will kill you. Literally, this is how white America works. And then the other people who are born into it, they're like, oh, this is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. Look at what white people do. Oh, my God, look at them across there. What is wrong with them? Oh, my God, that must means that we're greater than them. And they don't mean it. They're born into it. And they think that somehow that black people are inferior because their conditions, not even knowing. I am telling you that white people are so ignorant to what their forefathers have done to put them in their privileged spaces. Even though they understand that there's racism and they talk about DEI. I'm talking about the ones who talk about DEI. I'm talking about the ones that support DEI supposedly. Under all of that, they still feel like black people are inferior. I am telling you, not because this is something I'm thinking. I've read too many papers from white women, and I am tired of us getting white women passes. I'm sorry. I understand black women, that black women like to say us and women, and somehow, and they want to keep saying white men, and then the rest of us. No, white women are complicit. They've been there, they've benefited from it, and they birthed these white bastards. Amen.
You better go, bro. You laying it low. I love it.
So
that's serious. That white women don't get any passes because they are very complicit. And in my experience, working in the corporate world, they are the biggest oppressors because most of them are in space to oppress. They're the managers, and their husbands are the CEOs.
Somebody's birthed Trump.
Ooh.
And somewhere along the line, something didn't go right. I'm telling you, there's some love that was missing. And there's some love that is missing in a lot of these folk. And I've heard too many stories from my white students who feel so bad because their mother told them, lock the door when you ride through these neighborhoods. Let's drive fast. And they gave them all types of subliminal training to indicate, even if they directly said these people are, if they did or did not directly say that these people are inferior, that they are savages, they did it indirectly. And then when they get older, they believe this stuff so much, it's in them. And they don't even like it sometimes. They don't like that it's in them, but they can't shake it because at this moment, the neurons have connected in so many different ways that it's hard to change the way that you think and feel about the other. It's very difficult.
Well, Brother Cliff says, I believe white middle-class men are now being negatively affected by capitalism. That's why they're going to vote for Trump. So what is Trump? So he's not a capitalist, because I think he's textbook a capitalist.
I would like to
but
know
he's
what,
a crook too.
I would like to know what Cliff means by white middle-class men are being affected by capitalism, though. I would like to know exactly what he means by that. And we can put the link in the chat again if you want to join it, if anybody else wants to join.
Yeah, put that link. Let Cliff, I need you to expound. And Sister E, if you want to come up there, you can come up here too.
Yeah, come on, Sister E.
She talking about the white women. They've been complacent, compliant, and silent.
Absolutely. And they turn red when you talk about it.
Or start crying.
And start crying. And I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm just saying it because it's real.
It's real. So Brother Winkler said, racism is the glitch in the system that prevents all systems from working. Racism, xenophobia must have oppressed groups in order to create the semblance of progression so the elites can progress. Wow. I don't know if it's a glitch, but it is absolute present. And it works. It does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah,
I see it every day.
Yeah, I get it. I think I always see both ways, right? I always see when people say it's not a glitch. It is a glitch. It's not a glitch. I understand from both perspectives, right? But I think that I like this for the fact is that the system itself, right? I think it makes the conversation a little bit more nuanced. So the system itself, in a pure sense, look like it's here to be equally serve all people. But the problem is that if you don't account for racism in that system, then
it won't serve everyone.
It won't serve, but and what I mean by account, it's going to look like it's serving everyone, and it has the possibility. But when you don't account for racism, then your system will. It don't matter how good the system is. We can go and create something tomorrow that is supposed to help this community. With all things equal, it is a good system. Because it does not account for racism, and all things are not equal. It doesn't account for classism. It doesn't account for genderism or sexism or any of these things. But specifically, I speak about racism because I understand that racism is the thing that people don't want to talk about. And again, as I always say, as a professor that has taught so many students, specifically white women, this is the most difficult thing for them to talk about past the surface level, past their talking points, past their buzzwords and buzz phrases and all those type of things. And they're really good. And
so why do you think it's so difficult? Is it this insurmountable guilt?
No.
Is it not wanting to say, yes, this happened? Why is it so difficult? They can talk about everybody else's past. They can tell what everybody else has done. So why is it so difficult?
I don't know if they can talk about what everyone else has done, but I will say this, because one, it's difficult to see yourself and your people as to be so heinous. It's also difficult to believe that you have how do I have anything to do with this? I don't have anything to do with this.
I wasn't there.
I wasn't there. And I can see how that could sound logical. But thirdly, it's really difficult because I had it and I lost it. But it's go ahead, Queen. Wow.
I gotta let you go. You gotta come back. This egg off. Liberty is not a pie. When your neighbor has a slice, it doesn't leave less for you. I don't know. I don't know what that. I'm not sure about that because we all are very selfish and we all are trying to get the bag. And we said if the neighbor gets some, we're not worried about our neighbors. We're trying to get it all.
I don't know if we are selfish. I mean, I think you could probably say it's survival.
I'm saying as a system and as a country, this is a selfish move.
Absolutely.
And it's competitive.
And they don't know. And the piece that I left out last is they don't know what to do. What do I do? It's too big for me to make change. So
I don't know how to fix it.
It's easy to close my eyes and act like this doesn't exist because I know that I can't do it alone. And I don't want to feel guilty, as you said. I don't want to feel guilty. I don't want to feel guilty. I can't fix it. I didn't start it. So why should I feel bad? That's how people feel.
So everyone else should now continue and just live in it because you should not feel guilty. And you did it.
Well,
that's like the bully saying, I don't want to be accountable, but I did it.
Well, that's what happens every day on individual level. But imagine this on a mass level, a systemic level, a societal level. Here comes Sister Erica.
Yeah, I see. We got a visitor. I love it.
That's Hotel California?
Yeah, that's Sister E right there.
Okay. Gotcha. I didn't just want to make sure.
If we practice more racism, we may be better off. We still haven't recovered from desegregation. Wow. So he's saying Black people should practice racism because we'll be better off.
The problem with racism is that the way that racism was created is that Black people are inferior, unintelligent, dirty, lazy, phlegmatic, all those type of things, and non-intelligent. That is what racism is. Are you saying that we then say, well, and then they act on those beliefs in ways to oppress people depending on this caste system or this racial classification system or stratification system? So you say
the acts are savagey. They're savagery. So do you want to become this savage so you can have more stuff? I don't think that makes sense. If we practice more racism, I don't know about that.
I think I understand what he's saying, though. I think I think he's saying, race first philosophy.
Yep.
Let's practice supporting one another. Let's practice those type of things. Let's practice, I think that's what he's saying.
I think that's what he's saying. And I like he said we haven't recovered from desegregation. So he's saying if we focus more on ourselves, we'll be better off. But racism it doesn't have good characteristics. We can focus, we can unite, we can build systems, we can have synergy without having to hurt others.
Yeah, Queen, and I also when I hear him say we never recovered from desegregation, I would argue we haven't totally recovered from any of even the things that preceded that. I know that there are scholars that say that we were intact more after we were set free and all of that type of thing. I don't think it's that clean and it's that easy to say such a thing. That the family was more intact and all. I mean, maybe it was seemingly intact, but there was definitely issues. As one of my mentors, Dr. Marion Staten, rest in peace, rest in power, says that we always talk about those good old days, and those good old days never really existed. And I am saying that, and I'm suggesting, argue, maintain that slavery was before racism. Even segregation was before race. Race before desegregation. The things that happened during the being lynched and all of that during Jim Crow and all of that. If let's say we didn't desegregate, we would still be trying to heal from those wounds alone.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Wow. So Clifton said,
segregation.
Go ahead.
Oh, and the last thing, segregation is not even that real. I mean, desegregation is really not that real. I've been to too many places in too many cities, and it seemed like Black people have their place and white people have their place, and then all the other people have their place. Like you might see a few of us in their neighborhoods, but it ain't no big old melting pot like we think. I just don't see it.
Absolutely, because if you go every place, you got New York, got a Chinatown. You got where the Germans are, even in Baltimore. I mean, we have Spanish where all of the Latinos are, and you got where the Germans are. So we really gravitate towards people who are like us anyway.
The Germans, the Jewish, the
Jewish folks have their own
everybody. Yeah,
spot.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So being a white male has almost always guaranteed success in America. But with today's economy, just being white not good enough anymore.
What's that?
He's
Being a
saying that
white
it's
male.
hard being a white male. That's what he's saying.
But I think that's a false though, man. If you can go back, I think that's a false though, Cliff. Being a white male has not always guaranteed. Never, ever, ever. That's the false right there. There's plenty of white men that can tell you most white men are not doing great. It's the white men with power. Is a lot of white men aren't doing great. Believe me. The white men we may see might be look like they're doing okay, but again, that's why Middle America fights so hard because nobody understands that they exist. Just go to Essex and talk to those white guys. Go to Middle River, talk to those white guys. Go out back River Neck, Maryland, and talk to those white guys. Go to Anne Arundel County and talk to those white guys. I ain't talking about Towson. I ain't talking about Jewtown. I ain't talking about Upper Park Heights. I ain't talking about none of that. I'm saying go talk to them. Go talk to those ones in Appalachia. Appalachia goes all the way from the Tennessee Valley all the way up to almost Canada. Go talk to them. That's a whole lot of white people that's suffering. Well, and guess what? They think they're better than you because they in their suffering because they got better than you. They didn't fell for the trick too. I don't even see my hand a little darker than them. So, but nonetheless, because they got white skin. Somewhere still in that they have a level of pride and they feel good about it, although they poor. But they say you should have
racial pride. You know, they say racial pride is important. So I don't know. This is Patika. I don't want to say it wrong, so pardon me. We should practice solidarity on a greater level of consistency. We don't need to be racist. I agree.
What's that?
I agree.
Oh, we should practice solidarity on a greater level, and I think that would be beautiful. Now, my prognosis, though, the prognosis, I'm not feeling so good at this moment about the prognosis. And it might be because I saw this white man shoot this black lady in her head.
In her face,
I'm not feeling good about the prognosis right now. I'm just not. And if anybody say I'm saying anything out of order, out of pocket, you don't have empathy because I can't. If I just saw a sister get her brains blown out by a white man who have been targeting our community, that woman forever. And somehow you think that I'm supposed to feel like kumbaya is possible. You don't understand human beings. Maybe 3 weeks from now.
Might be talking, or he might be talking about us as a people. I don't think he's talking about.
No. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what they're saying. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I'm talking about for people who might, if she is or he is, one, I get what he's saying or what she's saying. But two, if you're saying everybody, I get what you're saying and I agree too. But I'm talking about the prognosis still is kind of. I mean, I want to be like, I want to be like Bob Marley, say one love. I want to say one love, but is it possible? And when would it be? I'm talking about this country. Is it possible? Racism is so entrenched in the society. People leave here and go to Europe and say that they feel less racism.
Then in Europe?
Yes. They go to European nations and feel more free.
That's wow. Okay. So Brother Field says we are of the few individuals on the planet who seems to be unable to realize that if you do not delete your immediate oppressors, you will soon delete yourself. Wow. So what do you mean by delete? Because if you're not empowered, you don't have systems, how can you delete? You got to think about that, Brother Fields. How do we delete folk and we don't have schools? You know, every community needs something to flourish. We cannot flourish and say delete. So we have to find a way to build systems and things within our community before we can delete other folks. What you think about that, Doc?
I mean, I you can delete your
because they close the grocery store. We don't farm. We gonna be hungry.
But you can delete your oppressors in many ways. You can delete your oppressors. My camera's off a bit. I was trying to fix it, but you can delete them. I mean, and what no one's saying kill them. Now, he could be mean. He could mean kill them or what have you. But what I'm saying is to put yourself in a position that you know are no longer oppressed. I think he's 100% exact. Now, what it takes to get there is a whole nother conversation. You have to delete oppression. You know, now I get why that right there, when you say oppressors, that seems like you're saying delete human beings.
Yeah.
And
that's what it sounds like to me. He said, we are the few individuals on the planet who seems to be unable to realize if you do not delete your immediate, I assume that's oppressors, you will soon be deleted yourself. So he's talking about people.
I mean, if the world was so simple, then I could only agree with him. But the world is not that simple.
It's not that simple. Yeah.
But I will say this, that I don't think we need them as oppressors to accomplish the things you just said earlier. Like, I think we can build these things without them oppressing us.
Well, yeah, I think we need to build those things if we're going to delete anyone. That's what I'm saying. We don't have the systems in place to get away from their systems. Just think if we didn't have water in our house, or we had to get away these systems that they've created, we're spoiled. So you have to create a system to keep yourself even relevant, because you're not gonna leave these cars, you're not gonna leave your clothes, you're not gonna leave your jobs and benefits, you're not gonna leave the grocery store, you're not gonna leave Chick-fil-A, you're not leaving.
Well, I think that becomes part of the issue.
But you're not. And so until you understand how to build your own systems, deal with your palate, learn how to farm, do things that's going to sustain you as a community, how do you delete the oppressor?
Well, let's say oppression.
Oppression, I can say we can delete that.
So I think,
but not the oppressor.
If it feels safer to say oppression, let's go with that. We have to delete oppression. We do. It's not going to be 100%, but we have to somehow.
You got to work on it.
Get underneath be under the foot of other people. That's clear, you know. Clear. And we have to do what we have to do to reach that point. We have to do what we have to do. So I get your hesitancy, and I agree with it. To be careful with words, you got to be careful with words and how you say things, not to be. So it won't be taken out of what is it called? Context. But at the same time, you know, even some of their own let's say liberational thinkers like Paulo Freire says that the only person that can liberate the oppressed are the oppressed themselves. And he also says that the oppressor will never give you your freedom. And he says that in the act of liberating yourself, you have to also liberate those who've oppressed you, because they've tried to dehumanize you. And in their dehumanization of you, they have also dehumanized themselves. But there's privilege in that dehumanization that they live in, and all that type of thing. So the only person.
Our job.
Oh wow, yeah.
You saying that's our job?
This is because what he's saying is this, like, so hear this out. So it's very similar to what you said earlier, though, because what you said earlier is this. You said, if we are to turn into them, we are not to turn to them and do the same thing they did to us. So we have to somehow humanize them. If some way we're not going to do what this brother is probably suggesting. So what you going to do with them in the meantime? If you think what are you going to do? You're going to have to humanize them some kind of way.
Yeah, you coming for them.
You're going to have to humanize them in a way, because I don't know if I agree with Freire all the way when he said they dehumanize themselves and dehumanizing us. I think they were already dehumanized themselves, which had them try and attempt to dehumanize others. Yes. But I do agree that if they want to still be around, you're going to have to do something with them.
That's true.
And you so you're gonna have to put them behind bars or like they do to people, or you're gonna have to humanize them some kind of way. You're gonna have to change the way that they think, or I don't even know if that's possible at this point as I start the show off. So I am not sure. So when I hear people like Dr. Marimba Anise say, look, man, we're gonna have to really look at this thing from a Pan-African standpoint, social standpoint, I agree with her. Like literally, I was telling my children today, man, I literally think, you know, and I know people say white people everywhere, but there's a different feeling when you go to countries that are majority black. And there's a different feeling when you even in a city that's majority black.
I say it all the time. I'm down south a lot.
You know,
Baltimore's a majority black city. You don't know how good it is until you go to a place that's majority white. And it's the truth. I'm not saying that white people are bad. I'm saying that they have a certain aura when they're in the majority. That's what I'm saying.
No, I mean, they're oppressive. You know, even when they think they're nice, they when they think they're helping you, they're oppressive. Yeah. They put stress on your body.
Exactly.
Racial battle fatigue. They tire you out. They beat you down, even with their smiles. I swear, if you know the little fake smile that white women put on when they see you, you know that does something to your core when you see it.
It does.
You don't have to deal with that when you in the neighborhood with people that look like you.
That's the truth.
Even if they mugged you, you can deal with that better. That
I almost
smile,
like that better. I know where you at. That smile scares me. So this brother said, I ain't voting for nobody who wants trans kids. See, I don't understand this thing we're in. We're worrying about sexuality. And I think that this trans conversation is not something that I can get in. I don't particularly say I
what are you reading?
everything. He says, I'm voting for nobody that wants trans kids.
Oh,
I don't know what that means. Who wants trans kids? Huh? I don't know what he's talking.
Is Devastator the same one who said that he was leaving because?
No, that was Damon. Devastator, you got to expound. I'm not sure who is the person who wants trans kids. So you think Trump wants?
You blowing up? You blowing up? You got all the right wing trolls in here today.
You sure do. Oh, I mean, so Particular came back and expounded, and I'm glad. Thank you. I hope I didn't say it wrong. Pardon me. She said, he said, I mean black solidarity. We haven't been consistent with it. I know we have deep fried friends.
Okay, everybody got slang up in here. Look, we can't understand.
Everybody got bars in here.
Y'all must be the coolest. Look, family, like, share, and subscribe. If you're on Dr. Daw's channel, make sure you go over to Sister QueenA B station, that's where Black Box Radio, where we're broadcasting from. Black Box Radio is spelled how's it spelled? As you see up in our upper left third or what have you, whatever you call it.
Or at the bottom, BLAK BOXX
Yeah, go over there and like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. If you're on Black Box, come over to Dr. Daw at she's not under my name. At Dr. At Dr. Dennis Ausar Winkler. Go over there and like, share, and subscribe, family. Leave a comment. Leave a comment after the show is over underneath. Let's have some dialogue to continue this, to have this conversation continue. Sister Queen.
Every second and fourth Wednesday, guys. Come and dock in the box. We're blowing it up just like this. Brother Winkler said, one industry at a time.
Oh, why would you bring Sister Erica in?
She left. Yeah, she had a little feedback, so we're gonna get her in next time.
Oh, okay.
We take over a lane, a system through economic strategies. I think it's very important to understand that we have currency. I think we're very afraid, and one of the things is sometimes revolution, there has to be some sacrifice, and we don't want any sacrifice. We don't want to die. We don't want to sacrifice our conveniences. But if you want to change the status quo, you have to change too.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's something we got to do.
Golf said he subbed. Word up, peace and power to Golf.
Golf says share liberty with your neighbors, solidarity. I don't know what's going on with a Golf. He's all over the place.
Well, nonetheless, keep it going. We, you're making us look like you're helping us out here. Thank you, Golf. But look,
I love you,
Brother Cliff says, brothers and sisters in Haiti did the exact same thing and are still being punished. What's that exact thing you're talking about, Cliff?
Okay, Brother Cliff, got you. Brothers and sisters in Haiti did the exact same thing and are still being punished. Of course.
What did they do? I'm saying, what did they do?
Well, they were the first ones to, they beat the French. And then they came over here and helped us fight the Europeans. So
is that what he's saying though? Is that what he's saying they did? They
he's saying that they had an uprising, they fought for themselves, and Europe has never forgot. But it's not just because of the uprising, brother. It's because of the resources in Haiti. Haiti has amazing minerals. They don't talk about it. It's a place that's being actually raped for the minerals and the things that's in the ground. So look that up, research that up, and you'll see why Haiti is such a place that these Europeans always will control or try to control because of the amazing resources in the ground. Very rich in resources.
They want to control They want to control everything, though.
Yeah,
it's part of it's monopoly.
Yeah.
No, literally, it's monopoly. They want to own everything. It's not the more that you control, the more power you have, and the more you can keep this desolate country on life support.
I think Brother Clinton said deleting people, so he was talking about people. He's not playing. He don't got time for no oppression. He said people.
You know, I was talking to my other cousin this week with my cousin that's on here, and I was so refreshed by hearing how she was like, I don't know what's wrong with you. You just want to live around white people. I don't know why we want to live around them so bad. She was going in, you know what I mean? I was like, okay, yeah, I like that talk, because it takes so much out of you. And I'm not saying that, I know some good old white people, like Dr. Amos Wilson says, but as a group, man, they have caused hell on this earth.
They have.
And even if the groupthink is so strong, even those who mean well typically go with the status quo. It's so difficult not to go with the status quo because you don't want to lose your things, and you want to make sure your children are educated, have the best education. When you make sure, look, you got to think of the psychology, not you, Queen, but just in general. They are in a very competitive. They operate in a very competitive type manner. So when they send their children to school, they know your children can't afford it. They know that other people can't afford it, but they want to pass on a sense of safety for their kind, for their offspring, for their progeny. So there's a war going on, and they are continuing it and pushing it even through their own children, whether or not they speak about it out loud. They do not want their children near your children. They think your children are going to lose, and they want losers, their standpoint, as far as away as they can from them, because they want their progeny to keep their feet on your neck. Because even if they say anything different, to stay in the places where they are, that requires them to keep their feet on our necks.
Wow. I don't know if I can live with myself. Brother Field said the greatest battlefield is the six in between your ears. Anything on this physical plane has been checkmated by the oppressor. You have to go beyond the obvious.
All right, Fields, I got you.
I hear you, Brother Fields. Between the ears is something, but you got to keep feeding between the ears. So
Fields is saying go spiritual. I would imagine. Hold up.
I guess he said it's checkmated by the oppressor.
But I'm not sure. I mean, I got what Fields is saying, but I'm not certain that everything has been tried. I don't give I don't give oppressors that amount of power. I think part of the power that we give them is that we believe that they're that smart, that intelligent, that brave, that strong, even. That we feel that they have checkmated everything. There's no other choices, no way out, no way up, no way around. And so what we do is we have to, and many times we have to dissociate and go into I'm not saying the spiritual war is real, but sometimes we stay in the spiritual realm so much because we don't believe that we can fight the physical war, because we believe that they have more power and we're doomed. And that's just not the case. I say no, there's no such thing as that we've tried everything on this realm.
But I think though they're saying it's not that they have more power. They have the propensity to be more violent.
No,
that's what's scary.
No. He is saying here, anything on this physical plane has been checkmated by the oppressor. You have to go beyond the obvious. So I'm assuming, I could be wrong, that he's saying we have to go more to spiritual realms. But that's cool too. We should. But also at the same time, everything has not been done. Everything has not been done. And we haven't lost all battles. We've won some. You've just spoken about one earlier. But the war continues. In fact, it's about, I don't think we're dehumanized. I mean, if you want to use that word, that's okay. But definitely they're dehumanized. But go ahead. You got something to say, or you looking at something.
Because what I think is people see in history the propensity for violence, even whatever you try. You set up neighborhoods, you set up communities that come and destroy. The neighborhoods, the systems that break down the families, the man in the home in the early 60s. So they have all of these devices that hurt people in the long run. And so if you get to the point where you're being you can actually get away from the system, they feel that they're going to come and be violent because they have the propensity to be violent. Their history says they're violent. And it's not an attack, it's the truth.
That's true, but that doesn't mean that we've tried everything, and it doesn't mean we haven't won battles.
True.
I mean, I get that they're violent. I mean, like literally that's the choir being spoken to. But at the same time, they're not invincible. That's part of the mind control. They want you to believe that they're invincible. Dr. Amos Wilson speaks to that. The major myth is that they're invincible. And because we believe they're invincible, so we say, why do anything? Because we believe that they're invincible.
If we believe in invincible, we're in trouble.
Say it again.
If we believe they're invincible, we're in trouble.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. If we believe that we've done everything materially or on the material level that we could have done, I am suggesting we have not. We have not done everything that we could do. I'm saying that we just have not gotten to certain places that we want to be yet. And sometimes some conditions haven't gotten to points where we weren't willing to do everything we can do. We cannot say that our brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers in the civil rights era did not do major work and major damage to this oppressor. The fight continues, though. The fight continues, and the fight will continue. And at some point, some of us we're going to be driven to the point that we go to another level of liberation.
Another level of liberation. I hear you.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, we came in late today. We stayed in for an hour and 30 minutes because we really this conversation was beautiful. This is what we should have. Community conversations from the community by the community. And that was what this was tonight. The title was, Why Do Black People Compare Themselves to White People? But we got into politics. We started talking about so many things. So this is a great conversation. Thanks for the input. I'm so glad everyone jumped into the chat. Da, what you gonna leave us with? You gotta leave us a jewel, bro.
Family. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Get all those type of things. But family, keep your heads up, keep your ears open, keep your mind open, and know that we can win this fight. Alute to continue.
I'm telling you.
Alute to continue, family.
You're gonna get your mind
the
back.
Struggle will continue. Peace and power.
Claim your African.
Good night.
I'm telling you. When you claim your African, you're gonna get your mind back. Black and proud. Claim your African. Black and proud. I'm telling you. Become a part of it. Embrace it. 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 When you claim your Africanness, you're gonna get your mind back. Black and proud. Claim your African. Black and proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're gonna get your mind back. Black and proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back.